It is 90 days to election 2024. Welcome to your election command center. Welcome to News 360. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I'm Ayisha Yakubu-Halid. Coming up, the headlines.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Electricity Company of Ghana identifies over 1 million overaged meters contributing to the company's inefficiencies.
Also coming up, both NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NDC's flag bearer John Dramani Mahama to file their nominations on Monday, September 9 to contest the December elections.
And lack of working street lights on Banja Street leading SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development posing threats to student safety.
And on the international front, Sudan rejects calls by the United Nations experts for deployment of an independent and impartial force to protect millions of civilians driven from their homes. We have details of all these stories and more. Be part of the show. Let's hear what you think of the many stories we have for you tonight.
Thank you for staying with us. This is your Election Command Center. We're starting off with some politics. Incumbent MP for Walewale, Hajia Laribazuera Abudu, has refuted claims that she has the support of her brother, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. In an interview with TV3, she says the vice president never supported her or any of the candidates. Let's listen to her interaction with William Evansinkum, after which we touch base in Walewale.
Do you have the support of your flag bearer?
My flag bearer?
Yes.
No.
And that is what some of your critics are saying, that you have a support and you are leveraging on that.
What do you think your opponent will say? Everybody will say anything. Yeah, because there is somebody working in his office. I think that maybe they also have the support of the flag bearer. If I say that, is it true? He could have stopped any of us not to go. But it was on a very level playing field, 4 of us. Not even 1 or 2. The 2020 we were 6, and this time we were 4. He didn't stop anybody. So he never supported anybody.
If in an event that tomorrow you lose the election, then probably you'll be setting a very bad record. That is to say, in 2012, since 2012, when you started winning the Walewale seat, you would have become 2020. Well, 2012 was in the camp of the MPP, right? You won the Walewale seat. And I'm not talking about you, but the MPP as a party won the 2012 parliamentary primary, of course, the presidential. Yeah. And of course, you repeated same in 2016. Then you came in 2020. If you lose, you will have become the first member of parliament, and for that matter, a first parliamentary candidate for your party to have gone 1 term. Yeah. Does that run through your mind going into this particular election?
Yeah, why not? It runs through my mind, and that's what I'm...
Let's now go to Walewale. Our man on the beat, William Evansinkum, is on standby to give us more details on this. William, if you can hear me, we know the vice president was in town today. How has he been reacting to these allegations?
I can tell you that it's pretty smooth as far as this particular constituency, Walewale, is concerned. Right from morning, the vice president and flag bearer of the ruling New Patriotic Party has been engaging the over 800 delegates in his private room. And I can tell you what, Asha, I mean, he has been very clear to them that he doesn't support any of the 2 candidates, but what he wants to see is a party that has a very robust front. And going into the December polls, they should make sure that they are united. And exactly that is what he wants to see. In fact, he has been very clear to the over 800 delegates, and they are clear in their mind that he is not supporting any of the candidates. So that is it. But you remember I told you in the afternoon that Dr. Kabiru was supposed to meet the vice president. Well, I still cannot independently confirm to you whether he was able to meet him or otherwise. I have been trying to reach his camp, but there appears to be some level of, well, somebody saying that he is not too sure whether he met him. So at this juncture, we cannot confirm that Dr. Kabiru was able to meet the vice president. He has been very busy moving around, canvassing for votes in less than 24 hours to the primary. So we are still monitoring the ground as far as, Walewale is concerned, Aisha. And tomorrow we are going to give you a comprehensive coverage right from morning till the Electoral Commission declare who grabs the sole ticket going into the December parliamentary primary.
Definitely, our man on the beat, William Evansinkum from Walewale, bringing us that update. And tomorrow he'll be bringing us a comprehensive report on all of the issues that unfold there at the rerun of the parliamentary primary in Walewale between Dr. Tia Kabiru and Hajia Zuwaira Abudu.
Stay on politics because some residents of Wenchi in the Bono region have expressed outrage at the ruling New Patriotic Party despite Wenchi being the hometown of Ghana's former Prime Minister Dr. Kofi Abrefa-Busia. There is growing discontent in Wenchi as a section of the populace have vowed to vote against the ruling party. Here's a report by Komla Kluche.
There's growing discontent in Wenchi. Predominantly, Wenchi is home to MPP stemming from its roots. In 2020, the NDC snatched the seat to represent the people in parliament.
Wenchi kona iwomuno. Ama buzi ewuye no. Enko amanye hwe. Kwa nyina ne hodada. Asa ama bewu. Ama na owu no me madawo no da. 92 na madawo ama buzi a ye driver. Don we mi busuani but aban MPP aban de Wenchi ade won boy kwan bia so Wenchi de nanka ebuzia dia MPP dia but say de Wenchi de odi odwan ko agyan so we NDC ni a wallahi beto ma no
ye driver ni I'm running from Wenchi to Kumasi e buy a fuel condition na NDC ba fuel no ba form oil nso ba form by MPP buy no nyoma bebiri asesa mehwe nsakire ya abande na baumia ne wife no e ba ha no ene na adwama ma e ba ha no ma hu se difference wo mbebiri me kra me te se baumia yere ba ha no nyame se nka no kra me kra me nim se obi aba ha ba nne na nkasa emom se adwama ma nya meduru ha no ba metimi hu se ye wo ayi enkwanya bebiri ye timi hu se panyini bi e ba kuro ni mo.
As the days inches closer, the NDC stepped its effort forward to cementing its gain. The first port of call for John Mahama beginning his campaign of the Bono region was in Wenchi. Noted for agriculture, especially cashew farming, the demands of the chiefs was swift.
Excellency, Mestro, Wenchi any factory bakokra 1D1 yenya bakokra yena nanom yemma yenuanom ofayema
Confident of a resounding victory, John Mahama expressed his resolve not to neglect Wenchi.
If you watching now, share Wenchi, now share a Bakosema, a Tasa Croati, Efa, and ye NDCO, Efa MPP party Nankasa, and Obeka say, Ebia, Moto Mwaba fire no, and ye. On my opinion, the entina and ne ye buy and sema na kai. E kwai ai twemu ha. Ha e na me fa ko mikrom. Na ene ye betwa mu e ko no ase. E ko cha na na drobo. Na me hwe kwan no. Se ye no kre se ne amampanyi kai se mfie wotwe omo baaye. Omo aye 12,000 kilometers of road. And then you may be son say, when Chief Ford there,
the entourage later moved to Nsoko. John Mahama is in the region canvassing for votes and galvanizing the base of the NDC for victory come December. Komla Kluche, TV3 News.
And our former General Secretary of the People's National Convention, PNC, Bernard Mona, will lead the party into the December general election after winning the flag bearership slot amidst drama. Stanley Niblo reports that his contender, David Apasera, has hinted at seeking legal redress to challenge the outcome of the election.
The Congress was held in all 16 regional capitals after the Elections Committee of the People's National Convention, PNC, passed a resolution to decentralize the process. The election was not without confusion and chaos. Bernard Mona was elected flag bearer with 1,138 votes against David Apasera, who managed 216 votes. Samson Asaki Awingobit also succeeded Moses Daniba as national chairman after defeating Hajia Hajara. Awudu Ishak was elected general secretary, with Mark Eusi Aku retaining his position as national youth organizer. Esther Danso won the women's organizer slot, and Abbas Nuhu was also re-elected as the national organizer. The new flag bearer, Bernard Mona, promised to mend all cracks in the party.
The bigger picture and the ultimate is the 7th December elections. As a people-centered leader, I promise to work tirelessly for all Ghanaians. I will listen to your concerns, amplify your voices, and fight your fights.
Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, UDS Guest House, Accra.
And staying on issues of election 2024, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will on Monday, the 9th of September 2024, file his presidential nomination at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission. The Vice President and leader of the NPP will be accompanied by his running mate, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Other party stalwarts who will accompany him include the national chairman, the general secretary, the majority leader in parliament, and other party leaders. A statement signed by General Secretary Justin Kodua Frimpong noted that after filing his presidential nomination, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will address party sympathizers and the general public after the party's national headquarters at around 9 in the morning. And I trust your election command center to keep very close tabs on this particular development, which is that the Electoral Commission itself has started receiving filing of nomination for various positions. On the reverse, or on the other side of the political divide, the National Democratic Congress's flag bearer has also hinted he will be filing his nomination. Right, so clearly it looks as though that tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. The National Democratic Congress's flag bearer as well, John Dramani Mahama, will tomorrow, the 9th of September, file his nomination as well to contest the December 7 elections in his bid to reset and rescue the country. According to the NDC, or according to the aide of former President John Mahama, it said that the campaign spokesperson Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, she says that the NDC has become the most attractive party in Ghana. She spoke exclusively to Komla Kluche.
Poised, ready, optimistic, and confident of victory come December 7, 2024. Let me say something that research has actually told us, that presently in Ghana, the National Democratic Congress is actually the most attractive political party in Ghana today. There is one thing people tell me about John Dramani Mahama, that John Mahama is honest, a nationalistic individual, a patriotic citizen. Indeed, Mr. Mahama has been talking about all of us joining him to build the Ghana that each one of us will be proud of. You've seen the insanitary conditions in and around these regions as we've moved along. Something needs to be done, something ought to be done. Certainly, there are solutions that can be done, but I believe that it starts with all of us voting to elect John Dramani Mahama and Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman as the next ticket for administration and for leadership in this country. If we have a change in government, there will be renewed commitment, there will be a reset even of the activities of galamseyers in this country. And if we redirect their attention, I have no doubt, look, with a new leader in place, there will be a lot of refreshing policies and refreshing ideas. The secret is that we need this change so that John Mahama and Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman can work very hard with the good people of Ghana to reset Ghana in a way that all of us will be proud of. There can be no reason why we would continue to maintain such an inept government that does absolutely nothing that benefits the citizens. Look, only a few people benefit from the proceeds of galamsey, not many. And yet the community and the polluted waters will affect many of us for the next how many years. So let's look more at the entirety of our country and our society, not just the interests of a few people who are in politics and benefiting everything just because they can buy water.
Meanwhile, Joanna Jan Kujo has been re-elected as the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Amenfi Central. Her acclamation follows the withdrawal from the race by the incumbent Member of Parliament, Peter Kwachiaka. Here's a report by Western Regional correspondent Bakojo Peters.
Finally, a done deal here in the Amenfi Central constituency of the Western region, as the Electoral Commission has officially handed over the mandate to Madam Joanna Jan Kujo as the NDC's parliamentary candidate for the Amenfi Central constituency.
I therefore declare Joanna Jan Kujo as the parliamentary elect for the National Democratic Congress Amenfi Central constituency. Thank you.
A lot of the party's functionaries were here, including national executives, and their statement, one thing is common, that they are calling on all and sundry to ensure unity prevails so that they can continue to retain the Amenfi Central seat. Deputy National Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Elikem Kotoku, in his address, called on all and sundry, especially the factions, to come together and ensure they work assiduously for John Dramani Mahama to come into power as the president, while Joanna Jan Kujo becomes the Member of Parliament so that they can continue the legacy of retaining the Amenfi Central constituency seat.
Let our gathering here today not just be a ceremonial exercise. Let everybody here be challenged to go out there to the hinterland, go to the communities, into the schools, in the markets, at churches, in the mosques, everywhere on the streets.
Moving away from elections, the Electricity Company of Ghana has identified over 1 million meters that are overaged and contributing to the company's inefficiencies. Managing Director of the ECG, Samuel Dubik Mahama, maintains that the new smart meters are not designed to overcharge ordinary power consumers, but accurately reflect actual consumption. My colleague Christian Yali reports that concerns among the public are still rife as the cost of living crisis escalates.
Frustration, emotions and complaints have greeted the Electricity Company of Ghana's new drive to introduce smart meters. Despite several explanations on the need for the digitized meters, customers have opposed the move, citing issues such as overbilling and disconnection of meters without prior notice. The ECG says it has identified over 1 million meters that are either outdated or not functioning properly, contributing to its losses. Managing Director of the company, Samuel Dubik Mahama, explains that most of ECG's inefficiencies are found in the old metering system, which is a key reason for the change.
We have identified over 1 million plus meters that are overaged and are not performing well. One of the things about digitizing is that it brings out your inefficiencies. Under the Know Your Customer drive, the KIMS, we are identifying customers that are not on our network, yet they are consuming. We are trying to plug the loopholes in the system gradually and consistently.
Although he cannot specify the cost to replace the obsolete meters, Jubik Mahama says the new drive has already helped ECG reduce its losses by nearly 27%.
If you are given a new meter and you owe, that means you were on a post-paid meter. So you were naturally not paying your bills. We do admit that those on the post-paid do not receive bills constantly. Now, aside that, this MMS platform allows us pure visibility and the GPS and the geocodes of the location of the meter. In fact, we have people who envisage that they will steal. So even when they were building their homes, they built the bypass in the walls. So you can get to a home, you are checking, only to realize that about 3 or 4 air conditions don't go through the meter.
Complaints on social media are widespread, with a group of private legal practitioners considering a class action and aiming to gather more than 100 signatures.
The nature of the overbilling we are experiencing appears to be an electronic problem with ECG itself and not per se a mathematical error. If we don't get appropriate remedy from the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission within reasonable time, we will either compel the ECG by a mandamus application or all other alternative remedies that we can get.
In 2022, ECG admitted that some prepaid meters, including Bolt, Alpha, and eCash, were not accurately responding to power purchases due to data functionality issues in these meters. But on hot issues, Samuel Dubik Mahama explained why people might believe they are being overbilled.
If your wiring or the earthing in the home is bad, you would lose it. It will be reading consumption on the meter. If I may ask, do you know the percentage increment in tariff right now?
What is it?
It's 75% plus. And there's been quarterly adjustments. So yes, the tariff is high.
Facing revenue shortfalls and debt owed to independent power producers, these smart meters, despite public opposition, could help the power distribution company address its challenges. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
Staying on issues of power, the staff groups of the Volta River Authority, the VRA, have expressed opposition to a proposed draft bill that aims to merge the VRA with Bui Power Authority, combine the Electricity Company of Ghana with the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, and establish an independent thermal power authority from the VRA's thermal plant. And this has already generated some controversy. And even if you look into the manifestos of both political parties, this has already taken center stage about the power issues in Ghana and the best way to resolve it. Subsequent bulletins will delve deeper into handling that, the best way to get Ghana stable, consistent power as a country. Let's turn our attention to another very disturbing year-in, year-out conversation having to do with galamsey. Now, pressure is mounting on the government to recommit to tackling the menace of illegal mining in Ghana. Over the years, rivers and streams have suffered massive pollution, with acres of forest covers destroyed by illegal mining. Water bodies have been heavily polluted with mercury and cyanide, posing an existential threat to the public. The livelihood of some cocoa farmers has also been impacted, affecting Ghana's overall cocoa output, as cocoa farms have also not been spared by this destruction. The Media Coalition Against Galamsey, which has been at the forefront of the fight against illegal mining, is calling on the government to prioritize the health, safety and livelihoods of Ghanaians. This call comes as joint health sector unions are putting pressure on the government to immediately ban all small-scale mining activities, commonly known as galamsey. So the clarity also is an issue of small-scale mining and galamsey. We'll try and break that down later. Now, the leadership of these unions is emphasized the critical need for the government to bolster regulatory and enforcement agencies to effectively combat galamsey. And we have heard from the Deputy Land and Natural Resources Minister, who has said a total or complete ban on small-scale mining would have adverse effect on government revenue, etc. That's another conversation for another day. But let's find out what exactly the position of the Government Hospital Pharmacists Association is. Dr. Emmanuel Owusu Obiafe is the national chairman of the group known as GOSPA, and he's joined us for a quick chat. Doc, a very good evening to you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, good evening to you, and thank you for having me on your station.
Right. We may say this position you are sharing may be late in the day, but it is still relevant in that the entire country is hoping some decisive action is taken in dealing with the galamsey threat. But as health sector unions, you are asking for some critical political action to be taken. What kind of action do you believe should be taken or hasn't already been taken?
Okay, I think the first call we have made is to the very first gentleman of the land. You know, there have been a number of measures that has previously been outlined, but obviously the output make us all aware that it has not been successful. And so for now, the joint health sector unions are particularly calling on the first gentleman of the land, His Excellency, to place a total ban on small-scale mining operations, I mean, with immediate effect. And this is so because from what is happening now, there is very little room to even differentiate the effect of those who are doing these small-scale mining legally and then even illegally. And it is having a toll effect on the population. And then the second thing we are actually calling on is that the government of Ghana should strengthen the regulatory enforcement by resourcing the relevant security agencies, i.e. the military, police, etc., so that all persons who flout the directive will be prosecuted appropriately. And then thirdly, we want all political parties to make a public declaration and then publish a duly signed document on their commitment to fight these illegal and unethical, mining activities in Ghana. And the issue is quite serious than is actually even being publicized. I mean, we are having a lot of instances of respiratory conditions that are being reported in the hospitals. People are coming with asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia. We are having people reporting with effects of kidney damage, neurological disorders, and even some kinds of cancer arising from these heavy metal poisoning as a result of these illegal, mining activities. And most importantly, we have huge water contamination. And mind you, the Ghana Water Company have just, come out with clear directives, actually been reducing, the output of water that could be pumped to some particular, regions across the country. And this is a serious cause for concern. We don't want to have an instance where our air and soil keep, being polluted, and several other effects, and we are actually in a very dire situation. And if we don't handle these things, right, then we have a very precarious situation.
Doc, clearly a number of these issues you've outlined have been, said already by other key major key state institutions and even individuals. But let's look at it from the perspective, the specific area that you operate in, which is government hospitals. And you have mentioned a number of ailments that people are bringing to the various hospitals, which are a cause of concern. Beyond asking government to commit and political leaders to commit, which they say they have done. In fact, you said soldiers should be used. Soldiers were part of Operation Halt 1, Operation Halt 2, Galam Stop, a number of all of these. And the soldiers themselves, some are raising their hands in despair because the political will and the undertones are scarier than we know on the surface. So from the medical angle, how do you think you can help in this fight?
You see, we, apart from talking to people in authority, what we can do, what we will also be able to do, of course, is to also talk to the very population and the very people to whom we deliver health care services to. And so we are calling on them. If water bodies are being polluted, then they should kindly not patronize these water bodies. Okay. And then, of course, for the health of the people, you know, treatment with medications, I mean, with drugs for some of these conditions are quite expensive. And so it will definitely have a toll, effect on the population. But what we are saying is this: you see, despite all these measures, we understand the nuances, I mean, with all the parties that play a role in this. But the buck still stops with government, and we believe more commitment from government can help. I mean, bring a finality to this situation.
All right.
Because.
Doc, thank you so much for your time. Certainly we'll be engaging you a bit more, especially from the health front, considering the fact that at least your voice is also being added to the many, many voices asking for major decisive action to be taken against the illegal menace. We've been speaking to Dr. Emmanuel Owusu-Uriafe, who is the national chairman of the Government Hospital Pharmacists Association, GOSPA. You're still watching News 360. Stay with us. When we return, we have many more stories for you on TV3.
You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Wait, your tomato mix. Wouldn't so one on pass. What tomato flavor no? No color changing like traffic light. Come on.
Tasty Tom dear. It will surely give you value for money. This steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup.
Taste no so dear. On point. Flavor near.
And it doesn't color your meat or chicken. I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Whenever you fly space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New Soft Care Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
Soft Care. Protect your leap.
Welcome back to News 360. Our Fix the Streetlight campaign tonight is taking us to the Upper West region. And the lack of working streetlights on Banja Street, the main route to the Asiedu-Dartey University of Business and Integrated Development Studies in Bamahu, Upper West region, is causing serious safety concerns for students. Upper West regional correspondent Ibrahim Wangara reports that this ongoing issue has sparked growing fears about safety and security.
In Wa, the Upper West regional capital, a dark veil has descended over several streets, including the critical highway leading to the Asiedu-Dartey University of Business and Integrated Development Studies. This pervasive darkness has sparked growing alarm among students who navigate these perilous roads to attend lectures at night. It is 6:45 p.m. and I begin my journey from Banja Street, commonly known as Kwanta Junction, where the Wa Senior High School and Kumasi Highway converge. As I ride, a profound darkness envelops me, broken only by the high beam of my motorcycle and the distant glow of a few houses, shops, and passing cars. The students of Asiedu-Dartey University are increasingly concerned about their safety whilst commuting to campus at night.
The whole place is dark, and at times we become scared because of the things we hear, the robbery cases, the rape cases, snakes bite and other things. I can't go out in the night and take something from someone, or I can't go to class and study.
I would like them to install the lights for us so that it will help us to be able to go to campus, take our studies, and then become the future leaders they would want us to be.
From the whole of Bamawu to campus, none of the street lights are working. Then it exposes students to danger, mostly during night studies. Students can't go to campus to study. And then we all know security is the hallmark of every institution. In every institution where students are not secured, I cannot be guarantee of their safety. It affects their livelihood.
The SRC president of the university, Festus Kwaku Ofosu, is concerned the situation is becoming increasingly life-threatening.
As we are talking about non-functioning of street lights, we are virtually talking about safety and security. And this is not only worrying, in fact, it is so disturbing. Unofficially, we have met with the regional minister, and then we have placed this before him, that the people in Ubis and then Bamawu community as a whole are living in total darkness.
The regional director of the National Road Safety Authority, Mohammed Abdul Samad, echoes these concerns, describing the situation as deeply worrying.
Visibility is very important when it comes to road safety. If the street lighting is not there, your headlamp alone might not be enough. You also need the street light to help you at least improve visibility, and they are absent. So that's why you don't even need any rocket science for somebody to tell you that it is actually a cause for worry.
Students are calling on authorities to urgently address this issue by replacing the installing street lights to safeguard their journeys and ensure their safety. Ibrahim Wangara, TV3 News, Wa.
In more news tonight, the East Gonja Municipal Assembly has commenced work on some deplorable roads in the municipality following the arrival of earth-moving equipment under the District Road Improvement Program, DRIP. There was uneasy calm in Salaga between the supporters of the New Patriotic Party and the NDC following the arrival of the equipment on Thursday, leading to scores of people sustaining various degrees of injuries.
The arrival of the equipment from Damango was met with great enthusiasm from residents, but not without confusion between supporters of the NDC and NPP, leaving scores injured. The Salaga-Bandai Road is the first road to receive a facelift using the equipment, though government is yet to disburse funds for fueling of the equipment. New Patriotic Party's parliamentary candidate for Salaga South, Adam Salifu Brahma, is already bearing the cost.
As we speak, the funds are yet to land, but we are working. We are working under the auspices of what? The parliamentary candidate, Hunter Sally. We have started, and we are not waiting for the fuel, but the fuel will come. And so for that matter, we are interested in the life of our people, the safety of our people, and we have started. So the issue of fuel, the issue of whatever, is not in our interest. We know it will come.
For the parliamentary candidate, alleviating the sufferings of constituents is his priority.
To alleviate the suffering of our people. So everybody should take it that all that has happened is that noise is past. We want to alleviate the suffering of our people. MC has elaborated a lot. The money for the fueling of the vehicles hasn't come yet, but we are working.
Meanwhile, Paramount Chief of the Kwembi traditional area, Kwembiwura Bambange Endefiso IV, has slapped a 5,000 cedis fine plus a bull each on each of the two political parties over Thursday evening's clash following the arrival of the drip equipment.
Stay with us here on News 360. We have some sports news coming up next.
Honey, new sabo and a pot evaporated milk. Tasty and creamy, right?
So
and a pot milk, a well custard one a fine. Na se well Tom Brown no rice water muswa a nice. Honey, trip na baso with the and a pot mayonnaise. Na midaya salad and a burger. Fries niso and a pot tasty ketchup. And a good side. Coffee jollof no so made the end of perfume long green rice. Oh, you are one. Don't forget your favorite and a chocolate milk.
Oh, more quite so. I'm in control like a pilot on Anapa Airways.
Mama.
Me, you know.
I can't stand it.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for sports, and Bill Ishan is with us. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Martin.
What's going on in sports?
Black Stars coming up, Black Princesses as well. They need a win. And Hartlepool fans are angry after today's loss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Okay. But Hearts have been losing in the last few years. So how different is this defeat from the previous defeat?
The thing is, when they start the Premier League game, they usually don't perform well.
Exactly.
So since 2021, they've actually not won a Ghana Premier League game at the start of the season. They've always lost. And they've not scored a goal
So why are the fans angry?
They need change. But let's get right into it. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Ishen. Starting out with the Black Stars, 22 players trained early on Sunday as the Black Stars took to the pitches at the Bekane Football Academy in preparations for their Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Niger. The squad was reduced to 22 after Istanbul Basaksehir defender Jerome Opoku dropped out on Saturday due to injury. Winger Joseph Pinto, who plays for Los Angeles Galaxy in the Major League Soccer, was left in Accra to sort out his passport issues, leaving Otuado with 22 players for the clash on Monday. The game against Niger is scheduled for the Municipal Sports Complex in Bekane at 3 p.m. Princesses also have a very big task ahead because they are gearing to face New Zealand in their final Group E match at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Colombia. Ghana have already suffered losses against Austria and Japan, making their chances of advancing to the next round quite slim. However, head coach Yusuf Basigi remains optimistic about securing a win against New Zealand, which will be a historic first time for the team if they advance past the group stage. As quoted by the GFA website, Basigi said, "Coach, we are left with our last match in the group stage and we are hoping to do well. As of now, we have only one major injury concern and that has been ruled out of the game, but for the rest, they are ready." Ghana will play their last Group E match against New Zealand on Sunday, September 8, 2024 at the Pascual Guerrero Stadium, Cali, at 11 p.m. tonight. Now let's move on to the Ghana Premier League. It was a poor start for Hartlepool as they lost 1-0 to newly promoted side Basake Holy Stars at the Accra Sports Stadium earlier today. Elsewhere, their arch rivals Asante Kotoko defeated Karela United by 1-0 away from home. My colleague Kelvin Owusu-Ansah has all the details.
It was expected to be a baptism for debutant Basake Holy Stars, but they rather gave Accra Hartlepool a confirmation of how poor and lowly the Ghanaian Giants have sunk at the Accra Sports Stadium. A 1-goal victory it was for them. For the other results, Kumasi Asante Kotoko starting the season with a bright note. Albert Abua's solitary goal giving them a victory over Karela United. Heart of Lions traveled all the way to that is Diana FC to get a victory for them. The Diana Gold Stars also ensuring a victory at home. Here are the remarks of the two coaches, Abdullah Ghazale and from Accra to Folk, Abubakar Ouattara, after the game.
I have to thank the playing body because they have done a human job. Because I know this match we're coming in with more intimidation, more attacks, and once they were able to maintain their posture in order to withstand this particular pressure, I think it's a plus to us. And I expect them to do more of this so that at least the team can go far.
The fans of Accra Sofo and then the whole entire team is very painful to us. We did well on the pitch. We tried our best in terms of tactically defense and the middle, even attack. We created a lot of chances. But that's football. It's a game. We have three things in it. At the end of the day, it's win, lose, or draw. But unfortunately for Accra Sofo, today we lost the game, which is very, very painful.
Kelvin Owusu-Ansah from the Accra Sports Stadium for 3 Sports.
Hartlepool game, here's a compilation of reactions from angry fans from the Accra Sports Stadium.
All these shots, Accra Sports Stadium. You don't know who scored them. We didn't score. We see the vision. We are not so out of ours in the line. Player issue, coaching issue, management issue. Talk issue are back on me. They tell you say we don't want academic data. Let them do it.
We keep doing the same thing and we expect different results. But it doesn't work like that. If the same people are recruiting the players, look at the staff standard players we have there, and we expect to win games like it. It doesn't work like that.
Coach was made by my first series. I will take series 1.3. Yeah. And you see, paper team media and the match begin. Coach, you are coach. Now players so far so yeah. Don't you know what you are? Or Saturday you say it's will be one. Tell me about if you show me in the mother, let's say in the square say, coach your own house. Coach, I think it's Jonas and coach the blood and also. Coach, you know the defense to against you. Check your house. Echo Sudan, Echo players stupid. Kisa team, I'm not sure how I think to pass out at 10 times. Kisa go to team like I feel the house. They against pass you. Team in here. Oh, the winner. I'm on the play here. I'm on the play here.
It's our day for Hearts of Folk fans, and that brings an end to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Ishen. Up next, entertainment.
The Electoral Commission
Entertainment.
In entertainment news tonight, the Musicians Union of Ghana Musica is making strides in elevating the standards of the music industry. In a 3-day national capacity building workshop held in Accra, music engaged with top stakeholders and its National Executive Council to chart a new course for the development of musicians.
In a more sustainable way. Engaging with other musicians unions with vibrant tests.
The Musicians Union of Ghana Musica is on a mission to enhance the skills and knowledge of its members. Over 3 days in Accra, Musica hosted a national capacity building workshop, bringing together key stakeholders at the National Executive Council to pave the way for new developments in the music industry.
We need more education. That's number one. And I'm so happy about what is happening now. You know, capacity building is what they are talking about. And talking about a musician getting together to know their rights, to know what to do, I think it will be very helpful to them.
The workshop titled Developing African Musician Unions equipped participants with valuable tools to drive positive change within Musica and the broader music community.
Any decision we take here, we make sure that they take it back to their region, discuss it with their executives, and then with their members, so that we'll be able to serve the members well. We'll be able to put proper policies in place, and also fight for legal instruments that will benefit musicians. Most of all, my aim is to change the life of musicians in Ghana, to make sure musicians have pension, they have NHIS, they have insurance, and then they have knowledge about the business of music.
Musica President Bessa Simons urged all musicians who are not yet members to join the union, emphasizing the importance of collective action for implementing effective policies.
You know, it's an intentional thing that Musica is embarking on. And what I'm saying to all the A-list artists is, the time has come for everyone to rally behind Musica. Let's all go and fight for the policies, the important things that we need in place. You cannot do it on your own.
Time now for international news.
Sudan has rejected a call by UN experts for the deployment of an independent and impartial force to protect millions of civilians driven from their homes by more than a year of war. The conflict since April last year, pitting the army against paramilitary forces, has killed tens of thousands of people and triggered one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. The independent UN experts said Friday their fact-finding mission had uncovered harrowing violations by both sides, which may account for war crimes and crimes against humanity. They called for an independent and impartial force with a mandate to safeguard civilians to be deployed without delay. The Venezuelan government has said opposition presidential candidate Edmundo Gonzalez has left the country for Spain, where he is to be granted political asylum. Edmundo Gonzalez has been in hiding and a warrant issued for his arrest after the opposition disputed July's presidential election results, in which the government-controlled National Electoral Council (CNE) declared Nicolas Maduro the winner. Venezuela has been in a political crisis since authorities declared President Maduro the victor of the 28th July election. The opposition claimed it had evidence Gonzalez had won by comfortable margin and uploaded detailed voting tallies to the internet, which suggests Gonzalez beat Maduro convincingly. 3 men have been killed in an attack at a border point between Jordan and the occupied West Bank. Both sides have shut the border points. The Israel Airport Authority said all of Israel's land crossings with Jordan have also been closed after the incident. The Israel Defense Forces IDF said 3 Israeli civilians were killed in the shooting at the Allenby Bridge crossing. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it was a hard day and sent his condolences to the victims' families.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you for spending the last hour with us. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I am Ayisha Yakubu-Halid. GMB 2024 is up next.